Good morning, everybody. It's Kula Dula from RawStocks. Have another edition of our pre-market prep this morning, and it is a potential breakout. Okay, so we're going to go over Oracle's God candle over here, straight to 321 in the pre-market right now. We're going to cover SPX on the range we're expected today. We're going to cover NVDA on its breakout over 170 and over 175 if it will get continuation. And then we're also going to cover Tesla. Will 350 be rein it in, or will we get the release towards something higher? Stay tuned. We'll cover it all. Quick shout out to our sponsors, Black Box Stocks and GammaEdge. Without those guys, we would not be able to provide this data to you every single day. So quick shout out to those guys for sure. Make sure you subscribe and like and share and follow if you're interacting with this on X. Okay, so big candle from Oracle. We'll get back into that. Let's take a look at, let's go to US 500. US 500, okay? Nice little rip here this morning. You could see we virtually pushed up towards that 65.57 area. That's the high right there. 65.57 pre-market high. We'll come and mark that out over here. Oh, excuse me. Let's go to our day trading chart. 65.57. This is going to be, let's see if I have it. Nope, I dropped it. 65.57. This is going to be our daily, our overnight high, somewhere in that range. Okay, we'll name this tile white. We'll go dotted, and this is a singular text overnight high. Okay. Or pre-market high, overnight high, however you want to look at it, right? Okay, so that's where we virtually pegged. So that's way above our expected range when we're in this type of move. Okay, when we're in this type of move, this can get super volatile in two different ways. A correction to mean, right? Or we see this thing come retest some areas for a potential extension. We've been talking about the 6,600 visit. Is this the start of it? Most likely, this is probably the start of it. Wouldn't surprise me to see us rug pull today. Not at all. Would not surprise me at all. But this does look super bullish. I do imagine that we'll start to see some extensions today that would prove bullish overall. Okay, so you have to bear with me. I'm about to cough and stuff a few times. Let's look at the data real quick. Okay, so full complex here. Maybe full complex here. 6,600 supply, 6,505 demand. So virtually we are bullish, trying to press us up towards 6,600. All right, that's virtually what the full complex says. Now, let's dive into it on the daily. We have some overhead shorts lurking right around this 65.45 area, which is an area where you need to really focus, okay? Because this is part of a larger position from a large trading group that we reference with Captain Condor. We need to watch this trade, okay? Watch this level, mark that as an important level, but the fact of the matter is that we remain in a very bullish area here, trying to press up, but there's no true target here. Now this will probably change, and we'll probably see 6,600 light up today as we open. But as of right now, this is kind of what we're looking at. So we need to do a revised look after open, probably 30 minutes in, and kind of see what the map is for us to understand potentially what we're going to see for the rest of the day. This is a bit of a mixed bag. It's not a mixed bag. It's fully bullish, but the pathway is a little bit blurry, okay? So when it's like this, likely a big storm out the gate, bullish, and then probably a little bit of a sell down and kind of chop until, people start seeing, where everybody's looking to position. So in regards to what we're looking at, this is our range right here based on our opening expected range. Here's our identified area that we talked about monitoring, right? The 65.45 to 65.40. As of right now, we're kind of opening up right near that level, 65.46, right? So that puts us right in this range right here. We're right in this. So you need to be cautious of that and see how we respond to that area, okay? Is this buy the dip territory? Absolutely, but based on our range and how we play, we can't buy any dip until we start to get down towards these lows, back into this consolidation here into that 65.05. Okay, you can try the 65.30 range to try to do a buy, but you need to probably watch this thing kind of come retest this and build some type of foundation before it tries to bounce. And don't be surprised if it runs a little fake on you, maybe even a double fake, before trying to run back up at this level. But if it starts to break under 65.30, I think it's okay to get short on this, as long as it remains under 65.30. You start to see a breakdown, and watch for the gap close, the high of the day. Watch the gap close, and then watch for it to return down towards 6,500. I don't see that happening necessarily, but that is a particular play that you can monitor, okay? I'm not interested in grabbing calls here. I'm not interested in anything to do with the index for today. I think I will, unless we get a breakdown from 65.30, I don't think I want anything to do with this as of right now. When the data changes, maybe, okay? Okay, so Tesla is currently at 351. So we had a breakout over this little off this consolidation range. Are we going to get a distribution off of this, or is this just another fake out? We sell back to the range and chop and potentially fall, right? So I think this is something where you need to monitor this pretty heavily. I think your pivot is right here between 350 and 347. Break outside of this range. I don't care if this is a consolidation range or not, where people buy into this and like, Kyle, what are you talking about? This here is I don't care about this anymore. The difference here for me is 347, 350. Outside of that range, we're looking for this to get a continuation. If this comes and checks 350 and then takes the candle above, we're likely to see some type of squeeze up to 360. Does that mean you chase on this? Not necessarily. We talk about this often on my channel. Here's our range. You're looking to buy right in the middle of it. What does this do to you? They kill you with theta. They just kill you with time, right? And then they make their move, then they bring it down, and then they bring it down a little bit further, and then everybody gets scared out of these, and then you just don't have the fortitude or the belief or the bad timing in regards to your buying and your premium to understand that the reward to get here may not be worth the squeeze. Okay, just kind of depends. Now, let's take a look at the data real quick. Let's show you what I'm looking at. So full complex here, a decent amount of longs here, definitely favored to the upside, right? Call dominated, 511. But there is some shorts in here that you need to be monitoring, but this is overall bullish, okay? There's no doubt about it. As we flip over 350, 360 becomes our target. Can we get a further break from there? Potentially. Okay. Tesla tends to steamroll. As it starts to make breakouts, people look to get in and try to get that type of move. All right. That's just kind of what they do. And then and the upside here would be 370, right? This would be the upside for us. But this is kind of what we're watching. We're watching this to kind of hold this area. I'm okay with you buying calls and saying, hey, if it breaks under 347, we're out. But I would not be super thrilled with just straight buying calls, walking away. You need to monitor this. This is a very heavy pivot for you. Okay, watch this pivot closely. If we break below 347, I expect the this kind of gap here, right, between this high and this low, right in that 344 to 343 range, potentially find some type of bounce, but realistically, let it come down 340 and probably that gap close towards 338. All right. NVIDIA is getting a nice pop off of our gamma wall. We've talked about this where we're betting calls, looking for this thing to kind of pop off of this, and just kind of sitting in it and waiting for this to really start to rip. But finally got it, and we're starting to get. So we're going to get a decent payout here, probably closer to 200% gains on this play when we close it out this morning. And that's what we will be doing. We'll likely be closing NVIDIA on our calls right at close and seeing if this thing wants to check 175. Doesn't matter. We're looking for the exit at 176.50, trying to see if this thing wants to exit here, or we'll exit here and see if it wants to reject. We're going to see how it responds to 175. If you lose 175, expect this thing to come back and retest this 172.5 area for sure. All right. There's no doubt in my mind. Under 175, we're coming back to retest this. There's been multiple times we've visited in this area. You got to know that this is an area where it wants to check. Okay. So watch that 172.5 be a checkpoint for a potential buyer to return back towards 175. If we exceed past 175 in that, then I would say that 180 is likely your target. All right. Keep an eye on this level 175 to be a heartbreaker. All right. 175 gets slipped here, then we're likely to, like I said, do that, or we could come back and just sit on 175. If that's the case, where we just sit on 175, I'd be very hesitant to realistically follow any type of bullishness to the upside without probably seeing a check down. Okay, that is just my theory on that. But as of right now, data says 175 ceiling with upside. So we just got to know that there is major upside towards this to press towards 200, as you can see in the data here. We have major upside. Good, super bullish, 4.81 positive GEX here. You can see that everyone and their brother is bullish on NVIDIA. And why would we close, right? Well, we look at this and we say, here's a gamma wall. Sure, if we squeeze over the top of that, we could see some relative type of squeezing to the upside. But a lot of times, what we'll find is that once we get into these targets, we need to look to reposition. And so we will take our profits here, and then we'll likely look to reposition based on time and premium. So nothing wrong with locking up 200% gains. Sure, they would look a hell of a lot nicer at 180, and we could get 180 today, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So watch 175 to be a rope, or send us down towards 172.5. All right, that's kind of my expectations for NVIDIA. Nice little play. If you guys have been following that long here, trying to get that push back up towards 180, 185. We had one go sour on us, but we just paid for it, right? So that's just how that goes. All right. So looks great. Oh, Oracle. Let's take a look at Oracle. Sorry. Oh, let me scroll way up here real quick. All right, sitting at 321.42 right now. There's uncharted land for it, right? Never, ever, right? Yeah, never, ever land. So this is where dealing with, I'm going to make this a clip. So as you see Oracle popping out above this range, this is uncharted territory. This is where we win and other people lose. Your people that try to trade with, diamonds, they try to trade with wedges, whatever that is, bullish pennant, bearish pennant, there is nothing here. How do you know what to do? Well, that is where we win and other people lose. Because we use data. We look at where the money is, okay? Clearly, we can see that there's a super large bullish position here at 330. This is our closest one that they're here. There's a lot of people that are stuck into these bullish positions as far as dealers go. They have been buying shares. That's what's driven this price up, is that they've been forced to buy these shares, okay? Now, is this something where we see a continuation? I highly doubt that, okay? I highly doubt that. You're going to see that 320 is the upside lock here at 320. I think we're going to likely find ourselves consolidating. I do not see us really pushing up above. There's nothing really that's clear to the upside that would indicate that. The only thing that would happen is some type of spike, flash, move up before we likely see some type of pullback. All right. So don't get super bullish on this. This is the part where you're looking for, some type of relative pullback. Overall, the whole stock here is bullish. And would I short this? No, there's no reason to short this. I'm just giving you the tools to understand that if your full complex rope is at 300, sure, we're sitting here at our 320 level, but watch for that to rein in towards 300, maybe closer to the end of the week. Okay. All right. So now we know what is going on. All those people that bought at 250 and lower, all these bullish positions, these dealers that sold all these calls down here, right? They have to, sell those now, right? They're likely going to sell those, some of them, to try to drive this back down towards 300. That's what's happening. So be on the lookout for that. All right. So, hey, hopefully this was insightful for you. Hopefully you are able to dominate the markets like we are with a very high percentage win rate. But if you're not, come take a look at us at RawStocksLLC.com. That is RawStocksLLC.com. I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to go ahead and bring you over here. We're going to show you yesterday our wins. We had a 11 out of 12 trade win. We had 648 put go bad. You can see that we're in NVDA calls at an average of 91. These will be well over to about $3 per now. We have our Tesla calls that are backwards, negative 81%. That's fine. If we get the pop through 360, that will light back up. And we just constantly, these are just constant plays here that we go through. Okay. There's not anything here that we're looking at other than automated alerts. And you can see the previous day here, all wins, 100% wins, 263. These are automated. These are not hiding anything. These are all automated every single day. Come take a look at. All right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And until next time, we'll catch you later.